What's going on, everybody? This your boy Reckless Talk with the R.I.P podcast. Man, I got another amazing episode for you guys today. Episode 32, the life and story of Air Force veteran, senior airman, Armando Valle. What's going on, brother?
What's up, man? How you been?
Man, blessed, man. Blessed. It's a major blessing to have you on here. I wanted to kind of switch it up this weekend since it's Memorial Day weekend. You know what I mean? Show some love to you veterans, you know what I mean? And I think this is a good way to do it.
I agree, man. I appreciate it. I'm happy to be
Sir,
here.
I appreciate you, man, for real. I definitely do. I'm not wearing my hat in honor of you guys. Man, let's go ahead and get started. But before we even do get started, this episode is dedicated to Senior Airman Michael A. Hudson. Rest in peace to the brother. We'll talk about him later on in the episode.
Absolutely.
Let's get started. What city did you grow up in, and what was like senior airman Del Valle like as a kid?
I grew up on Staten Island in New York. I don't really remember, too much of my personality back then, but I'm told I was a quiet, shy kid, kept to myself, playing with my little action figures in my room. I mean, I'm pretty much still the same way, loner, chilling, low key. Haven't changed.
Well, I can definitely vouch for that. You were definitely a loner. You're definitely quiet. You play with yourself. You know what I mean? This is my cousin, everybody, by the way. Man, what made you join the military, and why did you choose the Air Force?
So it was, I want to say it was probably winter time back in 2008, maybe January, February timeframe. And I was working at a T-Mobile kiosk at Baybrook Mall over here in Houston. And I was just standing around. It was just me working by myself. And then I was approached by these two Marines. I guess they were recruiters. And they were starting to, ask questions. What am I doing with my life? What would I like to do? Have I ever thought about being a Marine? And of course, I'm like, man, I'm just trying to close. Like, it was late. I'm like, I'm not trying to answer these questions. I was annoyed. And then, so, we just kind of chopped it up for a few minutes, and then they went on their way. And then I'm like, man, what am I doing with my life? I hate this job. I'm just standing around the whole time, not doing much, not really into it. And so I thought about it more. And as you know, my sister's husband, Tyrone, my brother-in-law, he was already in the Air Force at the time, probably like 2 years. And they just happened to be visiting that same week. And so I went back to the house. I talked to him about it. Of course, he told me lies and told me it was going to be amazing. It was the best thing ever. I'm like, oh, okay, sounds good. So, yeah. It did solidify the decision, though. I'm going to go ahead and sign up and see what it's like.
That's awesome, man. Big shout outs to Tyrone, man. He's still going at it. He's still in there.
Yeah.
I think he's going to do 20 plus. Big shout out to him, man. He's doing this thing. He in the Air Force too. So yeah, definitely big shout out to him. Who knows where he is in the world? He's always on some secret missions. So, for real. What do you consider to be the most important qualities to have to be successful in the military?
Honestly, you really have to have like a kind of a conforming mindset. A lot of that's what they want from people. They want you to be moldable, trainable, and when they say go, they want you to go. So for the most part, you got to kind of have a mindset like that, at least to succeed. Now you don't necessarily have to be that kind of person, but you're gonna see why you have that quality pretty quickly.
Okay.
Just be teachable, be moldable, be willing to learn, and listen more than you speak.
Break you down to build you back up, huh?
Every chance they get.
What real life talents have you from your time in the Air Force?
Challenge?
Huh?
You said challenges?
No, I said what real life talents have you developed from being in the Air Force?
I'd say probably my biggest one is punctuality, which my wife hates. I'm always like, if I'm not gonna be on time for something, man, I'm on edge.
Yeah.
I'm always trying to be, even if it's a haircut. I'm like, I gotta be there 10 minutes early. So honestly, that's honestly helped with that. Also, an ability to be adaptable. You work with a lot of different people from a lot of different backgrounds. You've got the aspect of lots of chiefs and lots of Indians, so to speak. So, you know, you really learn how to mesh, just kind of fit in where you can.
I hear that. What was your job in the military?
I was an aircraft mechanic. More specifically, we handled the fuel systems on certain airframes. So basically, if there was a leak, internal leak or external leak, whatever it was, we would handle that. We would fix that.
Okay, so you smart then, huh? I didn't know you was that man. Grown. I don't remember you being that smart when we was kids, but that's what's up.
A monkey can do that.
Would you say with being a mechanic, so basically working on the planes, whatever, did that help you when you got out of the military?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Before I went in, I knew what a screwdriver, a hammer, and that was about it. So you learn a lot. You learn tools. You know how to use them. You know, you work with your hands a lot. And I think it's important for like a young man. I was 20 when I went in. I think it's very important to learn certain skills that a man should know, like tool work and whatever comes with that, whether it's cars or planes or motorcycles or whatever. So that was actually, that was something I really appreciated. Whether it's cars or planes or motorcycles or whatever. So that was something I really appreciated.
Yeah, that's what's up. Hell yeah, that's cool. Hell yeah. Where was your favorite place to be stationed that you were stationed at? Before you even answer that, let everybody know where have you been stationed.
All right, so I started out in southern Georgia, in a small town called Hudson. And there, I was stationed at Moody Air Force Base. I was there for 6 years. And then from there, I went to South Korea, and I was stationed there for a year. And then after that, at the very end of my enlistment, which I did 8 years total, I was in Albuquerque, New Mexico for the final 6 months of my enlistment.
Okay. Where would you say was your favorite place to be stationed?
My favorite would probably be South Korea.
South Korea. Can you give us can you share a memory from South Korea with us?
I spent so many nights sipping. I don't have too many, but at least I can pull one out. Man. I guess my favorite memories are just being out with my friends, my coworkers. Really, we're more like brothers,
Yeah.
And just every time we were out, memories were made. We had a great time. Without them, it wouldn't have been the trip that it was. So every time I think back on that duty station, those are my fondest memories. Spending time with my book.
That's awesome. So that actually, I have another question. It's a few questions, but it's a few questions away. But since we're talking about this, I'll add it right now. Sure. When you were stationed out there, have your guys ever got lost? Like just hanging out or something like that?
Yeah. Actually, I was actually traveling to Seoul on a train with my boy Washington, and we got lost. We got lost in Seoul. But I mean, it was everywhere was new. We're just sightseeing everywhere, so we didn't really feel lost, but we knew. We were kind of lost.
You knew you weren't where you're supposed to be.
Yeah. The train system over there is crazy. We're just looking at the green line, the red line, the blue line, and we're trying to figure out which one gets us back at base. But it was fun. We eventually found out.
Oh, cool. So when you had your reunion with your kid at his school, and it was aired on the news, how was that experience to be recognized at that magnitude? And how did you feel once you took off that costume?
Honestly, it was overwhelming, to say the least. it was definitely overwhelming. I was excited. I was nervous. That was actually I was in Korea for 6 months already, and then I came home for 30 days to be with them. And so, you know, that's 6 months of basically not being a dad, not being a husband, missing everything that goes on in their lives. That's 6 months worth of emotions coming out in that moment, you know, on live TV.
Yeah,
so it was crazy, but it was fun.
Yeah, I remember that day. I remember that video. I remember watching it on the news. Man, how can for everyone watching in the future, y'all know them videos online, them I'm coming home videos with the sad music, and they come home and they hugging, and that's what this was. But this was real life, live on the news, like on TV and everything. Like they showed so much love to this man when he came home. I ain't gonna lie, I probably shed a few tears. I think
I won't tell nobody
because of my man. It was amazing for real. Like, it was awesome. Somebody just commented the American flag. It said "Food Del Ventures." I don't know who that is, but it has a picture of you. So whoever that is definitely your people. What's up?
Yeah,
joining in.
That's probably Laura.
What's up, Laura? So yeah, that was cool though. That was real cool, man. How they honored you like that. You know
I appreciate it a lot.
I've seen so many videos of situations like that, and so to see you on them doing that for you, it was awesome, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm proud of you, cuz for real.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Real for real. All right, let's see where we at. Man, this episode is dedicated to senior Airman Hudson. I know you guys are really close, man. Can you give us a fond memory you have with each other, and just tell us a little bit about him?
Yeah. We were stationed at Moody together. He's from Indianapolis, Indiana. And man, he was a truly generous person. He was hilarious. He was always clowning, but so generous, sweet dude, man. He'll literally give you the food off his plate and the shirt off his back. Like you wouldn't even have to ask. And he actually would kind of do that for us. He would, you know, if we didn't bring food, we worked night shift. We didn't bring food, he'd go and he'll bring everybody something. Yeah, such a generous dude, man. I miss that kid. A fond memory. Nothing specific, but every time we were together, we were cracking up. Every time. And in our situation back then, you had to find the laughter in the nonsense. And he definitely was like, you know, a shining light in the nonsense. He made the shift run smoother, the day go better. Yeah, honestly, a great dude.
There's always that one person in the group that does that, you know.
Always.
That's awesome, man. And he if I'm not mistaken, he did do a tour in Afghanistan, correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Awesome. And so big shout out to him. Rest in peace. Big shout out to his family. I hope they watch this. When I hear your son, your grandson, your brother, it was a good dude, and I appreciate his service for real.
Yeah, 100%.
Definitely. Let's see where we at now. What are the most significant lessons you learned in the armed forces?
Honestly, it taught me to be my own man, my own person, not to be a follower, not to go with the flow all the time and compromise my morals, my integrity, my dignity. You know, I learned to stand up for myself a lot in many situations, even if it meant, you know, going and getting in trouble for it, or, you know, going against somebody who was of a higher rank than me. If I felt like, you know, someone was being mistreated, or I was being mistreated, whatever it was, you know, I definitely stood my ground, stood up for myself, and that's something really. That's something that taught me. You know what I mean? That's not something that I really learned growing up. Just to stand on my own 2 feet and be my own person.
That's what's up. That's definitely what's up. Let's see. Midlife is not an easy one. What motivated you to push for success?
Honestly, my family, my wife, my kids. You know, my wife definitely, Laura, she definitely pushed me to do certain things so that way I would succeed. You know, like getting my degree, sticking with that, sticking with the military, you know, for as long as I did. So honestly, if I didn't have her pushing me, I probably wouldn't have made it all the way through.
Big shout outs to Mrs. Lori de Valle for real. Amazing, amazing woman. Amazing. Man, there's a lot of people from different backgrounds in the service. How did you approach working and collaborating with different backgrounds of people, cultures, and like you said, you got a bunch of chiefs, bunch of Indians. How did you like vibe with that?
Honestly, I think our approach was to kind of make fun of each other. Kind of, you know, see who can take a joke, who can't, who you vibe with, who you mess with. And I was fortunate to just basically vibe with everybody who was, you know, of my rank, below my rank, and a lot of people above my rank too. So that's
I'm sure.
We were straight up
My bad,
clowns.
go ahead. Say that again. My bad.
Are you?
Now, I was gonna say, I'm sure that growing up in New York with a bunch of different ethnicities and cultures, I'm sure that kind of helped made it easier too.
Oh yeah, absolutely, 100%. Yeah, like you can tell, you know, some people who where they came from, they may not have had interactions with certain types of people with different backgrounds, but you know, of course, for me, we come from a place where everyone's there, so it was easy. We had a lot of fun.
That's what's up. Yeah, because we could both talk about when we first both moved to Texas, the culture shock.
Yeah. Yeah. I was surprised not to see horses everywhere.
For real, horses and cactuses. There's more palm trees than cactuses. Man, who would you say has been your biggest supporters throughout your journey?
My biggest supporters, my wife, my children, my wife's family. They've always supported me. My family. And I've also had a lot of support, you know, from friends, from military friends, man. Honestly.
Can you hear me? I know
Yeah.
my thing acting up a little bit. All right, cool. All right, we're gonna go ahead and end the episode. We got one more question though before we do. What advice would you give the younger generation wanting to join the military?
Man, I would say do it. I would say do it. Regardless of the highs and the lows, the ups and the downs that you may face, you know, that I have faced being in the military, I 100% am pro military when it comes to getting your life together, figuring it out. You know, a lot of people don't know what they want to do. You don't know what you want to be when you grow up. You know, at the very least, the military is going to give you that time to figure it out. They're going to give you the time to go to school for the most part, depending on your branch. Air Force, you got all day, all night to go to school. They will push you to go to school, get a degree, figure out what you want to be. You know, if it's not for you, at least you spent 4 years, you know, getting yourself ready to do what is for you. And who knows, you might end up doing 20 years and retiring. I think absolutely go for it. If you're in a place in your life where you're just not sure what direction to take, you know, do it. I say do it. 100%.
Advice, man. It's great advice, man. On that note, we're gonna go ahead and end this interview, man. Once again, I mean, I appreciate what you do. I appreciate your services, man. Hats off to you. I know my fat ass couldn't do it. I'm gonna keep it real. I can't. You know what I mean? But it's saying that, man. I appreciate what you did, everything you do, and keep doing you, man. I wish you nothing but success and happiness beyond your imagination, for real.
Thanks, bro.
And for all these other veterans out here, for all the troops that's still active, man, I appreciate y'all support. I appreciate y'all everything y'all do, every protecting us, whatever it is, man. I appreciate what y'all do for real, because it's not for everybody. For real. Man, and saying that, episode 32, kicking it with Senior Airman Armando de Valle is complete. Man, once again, I appreciate you, brother. It was a major blessing.
Thank you, man. Thank you for having me on here.
H-Town, stand up. We done.
I appreciate you, cuz.